Hey guys, welcome to episode 28. This is the Portfolio Manager Coding Session series. And today I'm going to make an explanation for users and testers of how to use Portfolio Manager without getting into the code actually. Okay, so this is an explanation for users. So let's get started. I'm going to be publishing this workspace as a demo. It's going to it's going to be called Portfolio Management Demo, and what you will find there is the following. Let me organize this a little bit. You will find the Portfolio Management project. Okay, this is what needs to be present for this functionality to be available. Also, you will see that we have a portfolio system that, by the way, the icon is missing, and a portfolio engine. Okay, these are uh, this is a plugin. You can see it because it's all closed. You cannot, and this is a portfolio system that is part of my workspace currently. Okay, so I also have the lightning strike strategy that is at the getting starting tutorials, and I have this portfolio mine. Okay, so portfolio bot is conceptually is the boss of the trading bots. Okay, if you're watching this video, most likely you are familiar with the concept of a trading bot in superalgos. Uh, Trading bots are defined as the trading mine. Okay, a trading bot here. As of today, we have only one type of trading bot that is called low frequency, and that it specializes in working with charts from 1 minute to 24 hours. Okay, so in the future there might be more trading bots, maybe high frequency or specialized in whatever else. And essentially, a trading bot, what it does is it interprets a trading system logic, okay, which we already know that has four stages: the trigger stage, open stage, with events and formulas. It is an interpreter of this type of trading system and is able to execute the orders defined in here at the trading system and all the logic designed in strategies inside it. Okay, so a trading bot is also working. If you see, I'm going to organize this a little bit better. A trading bot is also working um, at a certain exchange. You see, exchange, this case is Binance, at a certain market, and it's going to be working on that market only. So it's going to be placing orders um, of any of the possible types only at this market. Okay, this is configure here, which is the session based asset, the session quote asset, together with all the other parameters. So once you have a trading bot, you can trade in a certain market, um, but you might want to do it in different markets at the same time. And in that scenario, you create multiple trading bots and you put them to trade individually, each one a different market, potentially with different strategies. And By doing so, you have a small army of trading bots. Okay, so where does the portfolio bot get into this picture? Well, a portfolio bot think that if the trading bots are traders, a portfolio manager is the boss of these traders. In which sense? The portfolio bot can manage a group of trading bots, can be one, two, 10, or depending on your hardware, you will find the limit. Um, so what happens there is that the trading bot, uh, as in real life, a trader can ask its boss um, confirmation for what the action is going to take. Okay, so a trading bot already has a predefined working capital that is what you define here. Sorry. So you can define which is the capital that is going to work with, at least the maximum capital that, and the bot will keep an internal accounting on how much of this capital it has available for itself. Okay. This capital is detached from the actual funds you have at the exchange. So you might say that the working capital for a trading bot is 1 Bitcoin, but at the exchange you might have 100 Bitcoins, right? So you might give 1 Bitcoin to 100 different bots, and each one would trade up to 1 Bitcoin each. Okay, so if you didn't have a portfolio manager, probably that would be something that is that you would like to do. Okay, but things are not that simple because some bots might be not trading because their conditions, the market conditions, are not right for their strategies or for their markets. But still, you would like to optimize the use of the capital. Okay, so maybe one of the 100 bots could be using 10 Bitcoins instead of one because it's a very good opportunity for that. Okay, but today, without portfolio manager, there is no coordination between bots. What portfolio manager provide is the needed coordination to allocate the capital base uh, on a bird eye view of all the trading operations. So um, with the possibility of having a portfolio manager, then you are not constrained anymore to have to give 1 Bitcoin per bot. In this example, you can allocate the maximum to each bot. Let's say 10 Bitcoin, even though if there are 100 bots, you don't have 1,000 Bitcoin for all of them, but you will manage the amount that each one is going uh, to use dynamically. Okay, and you will learn in this video how that would work. But that is one of the use cases, and what are the problems that portfolio manager solves. Okay, is a better allocation of capital. That's for sure one of them. Okay, um, the criteria in that portfolio manager is going to use to allocate more or less capital to a trading bot, that is up to you to define. Okay, the system doesn't fix any specific criteria for that. What the system provides is the possibility for the portfolio manager to have access to all the information of each individual trading bot together with the market information. So portfolio manager can see any market at any exchange that you want, and also can see the internal memory, the brain, that is the trading engine of each of the bots that is managing. Okay. Uh, and on top of that, portfolio manager can also see the balances. If you take a look at this, the actual balances of the assets at the exchange. So at the portfolio engine, you will find a structure like this, where you have exchange managed assets. Okay. And here, um, this at runtime will be filled with the actual values of the balances, the free balance, the locked balance, and the total balance of a list of assets that you might provide. Okay, you will provide the list of assets the portfolio wants you want to monitor here as a new type of parameters. So you can add to this list all the assets that you want, and the exchange and the portfolio is going to check their balance at every single candle, uh, and fill those nodes values with free log total, so that you have the balance, the actual balance at the exchange, available for your conditions and formulas inside the portfolio engine. Okay, so what we're saying is that the portfolio manager has not only access to all exchanges and markets, but also it has access to the trading engine. That's the memory data structure of all the trading bots that is managing, and it also have access to all the actual balance of all the assets that you need to monitor at the exchanges. That might include the ones that are being traded by the trading bots manage, but also it might include any other asset that could be the capital that you're managing. Okay. Um, there is a feature that is still not there, but I'm going to add soon, that is also going to have access to the session parameters of each of the trading bots, so as to know which are the parameters each one is running with. Okay. That by knowing that information means that it's available at conditions and formula. Okay. So if at a workspace you have a portfolio system, okay, that's the condition that needs to be met in order for when you run the install market function that you're familiar with. Okay, if you install a market at a workspace where there is a portfolio system present there, what is going to happen is that, and also you need to have the portfolio management project here. The install market procedure is going to create a new type of task related to portfolio manager. Okay, it's going to create the necessary task to run a portfolio manager bot. Okay, you also need, of course, the portfolio mine. Okay, is equivalent to a trading mine, and the portfolio engine that is the equivalent to the trading engine. So you need these three pieces in order for all the connections to be made. But at least with this one, the install procedure is going to try to make all the connections. Probably it's going to get it incomplete because it won't find these guys. Okay, so with these three guys, then the install market will make the setup for you, including all the charting infrastructure. Okay, if you go to charting space, you will also have charts defined for portfolio manager bot. Okay, so this is so far very similar to what you are doing already with trading bots. um, so what's next? Okay, you have the session parameters of the portfolio manager. Um, Portfolio manager works in backtest and in at live trading, so it has two different type of sessions. This one is backtesting, but you can switch to live trading. We haven't done yet the forward testing, um, or the other one that I don't remember the name now. Uh, because it's early stage, we might implement it in the future. It can be something added in future version. Today we are finishing version number 1 of this, or it's the first iteration, so it's barely working. Okay. So what is important at the parameters level, that you can have a time frame for this that it should match the time frame where the trading bots are running. Okay. And the reason for that is because a synchronization needs to happen between the portfolio bot and the trading bots. At runtime, each trading bot runs inside a task process of what we call the task server. Okay, a task server is a, a process, an entity that technically is a Node.js process running at your machine that is able to run different type of bots of super algos bot, let's say. It can be indicator bots, trading bot, portfolio bots, machine learning bots, whatever. So these tasks, then what happens is that the portfolio bot runs at one Node.js process, and all of the trading bots that are managed by this guy are running at other Node.js processes. Okay, so that this means they are totally decoupled. So there is a synchronization mechanism that happens between the portfolio and the trading bots, and is obviously needed because the portfolio might be running, for instance, at one date uh, when you start it, and the trading bot might be running at some other date. Okay, um, if we are doing backtest, for example, we need them to go at the same candle together. Okay, and I will explain you why in more detail later. But essentially, the trading bots are always asking the portfolio manager when they are going to take some action that they require the intervention of the portfolio bot. They're going to be asking them what to do. Okay, and for example, can I take a position now? And my conditions are telling me that I should take the position. Should I do it or not? That's a possible question. Okay, but to ask that question, the trading bot must be standing at a certain candle in time. Okay, and the portfolio bot must be standing at the same candle, because portfolio bot is looking at indicators. Okay, and indicators are a function of time, basically. So there must be a synchronization, and that's why the time frame should be the same. Okay, if you run it with different time frames, it's going to give you an error and not even run. Okay, then the time range is up to you. You can run, as I said, backtest with portfolio manager, and um, it's not strictly needed that the trading bot and portfolio goes in the time exactly the same time range. If the trading bot is ahead of time, it will wait for the portfolio manager to reach its range. Okay, so it's a little bit more flexible in this case. But some other thing cannot happen. For example, that you run the portfolio manager ahead of the trading bot, then that trading bot cannot run because it's never going to be able to ask the portfolio manager, and it has pre-configured uh, places at its trading system where it needs to ask. Okay, so you cannot run a trading bot that goes behind or that starts behind a portfolio bot. Okay, these other parameters, slippage, fee structure, they are there because they were inherited from the trading bot's logic. I don't know if they are actually needed or not. Maybe slippage could represent, in this case, uh, a general slippage or whatever. Fee structure also maybe makes sense or not. For now, they are there. Snapshots, I probably will remove this because I don't think we're going to have snapshots here. And heartbeats is about configuring if you want to show. I put true here, usually default it's false, so that we show, so that I can know, or we can know exactly which candle number is processing at any point in time. Okay. So then we have the reference to the portfolio system, the reference to the portfolio engine, and that these are familiar concepts if you're already using SuperAgos. So what's different here? This key reference is if you're going to be doing a live run, you will need a key, obviously, not because you're going to place orders, but because you're going to fetch balances. Okay. So if you're going to run this in live mode, then you will need to set up a key reference. And then we have this concept that these are news. There is manage task and manage sessions. Okay. This is not actually part of the portfolio project. Okay. It's an addition to the concept of tasks in general. We have the concept of task that is related to the task server entity, that is the application that actually interprets this task and run them together with the bots that are defined inside them. Okay, so an upgrade was made in order to introduce the concept of managed task. Okay, so managed task is not something specific of portfolio engine. There might be other managed tasks in the future that goes beyond this. Okay, but essentially a managed task is a list or is a task or a reference to a task that is kind of linked to this one, in the sense that the only effect that it produced today is that if I run this task, then because this task is managing other tasks, then it automatically going to run the other tasks that are being managed. Okay, so that's all you need to know about this. Probably one detail is that when you debug this, when you run it in debug mode, it's not going to execute the managed task. Okay, because you are trying to debug a single stuff in those scenarios. A very similar concept is the extension of the concept of sessions, where we have this managed session, a node, and a possible array of different session references. So in this case, this references the session of a trading bot, and the effect of this is that whenever I run this from here, I'm going to run both the portfolio session and together the trading bot session. These are like convenience features. If you're managing 50 trading bots, you would like to run all the tasks from one single point and all the tasks here. But it goes a little bit beyond convenience, because by declaring here the sessions of the trading bots that we are managing, we are creating the list that is going to be sent to the portfolio bot at runtime. Okay, and is going to enable the communication that happens between the portfolio bot and the trading bots. Okay, this communication was implemented via the event system, the not the UI event system, that is one thing, but the platform event system. If you don't know, the platform, one of the services that is running inside there, is an event system that allows different Node.js processes to exchange information between them, and together with the user interface. Every time you see that these numbers are changing when you download data, is because messages are flowing through this event system and getting into the UI, and that's how you are able to see that information. Okay, the same event system is used in this case to allow the communication between the portfolio bot and the trading bots. Okay, so this event system is intended to be used inside a local area network, not on the open internet, because it doesn't have authentication implemented. You're supposed to use it between these processes that are running at your own premises, either at your own computer or at your own LAN network of computers you control and that you protect from the outside. Okay. Okay. Um, well, so we have covered everything here. At the trading bot per se, everything is pretty much the same that what you already know, so nothing to talk about that there. Okay, so let's explore the changes at the trading system. Okay, the trading system, as you can see here, what we have is the same Lightning Strike trading system, is a clone of it. Okay, but in this case is Lightning Strike um, that is going to be managed by a portfolio bot. Okay, so the first thing you need is this node here that is going to be interpreted that this trading system is to be managed, and it's going to enable the functionality of asking these confirmations from the portfolio bot. In fact, if you have the definitions to ask portfolio bot, but you don't want them to run, okay, then you remove this, and it will just ignore all this stuff. Okay, so so obviously you need this for any trading bot that is going to be managed. Okay, without this, the bot run in a standalone way as of today, with absolutely no connection to any portfolio bot. Okay, perfect. So what are the things that you can, how is it organized, what you can ask portfolio manager? Well, essentially is organized in two different categories. Okay, you have events. Okay, you have the thing that the portfolio manager can act as a portfolio events manager or as a portfolio formula manager. In fact, inside it has an events manager and a formula manager. So if you want to continue following the metaphor that the trading bots are traders and the portfolio manager is the boss, then you might think that the boss has two other employees working for him, that is the event manager and the formula manager. Okay, so when you have events, any of the events that you might have at the trading system, which includes trigger on, trigger off, take position, open an order, cancel an order, um, close a stage, move from one phase to another, and move to the next phase. All these events have the possibility for you to include this node that essentially is going to request an events manager to give you an answer. Okay, to give you an answer. Um, Similar to the trading signals, this is not mandatory. You can have only one event asking something. You can have no event asking anything, or you can have all of the events at your trading system asking question to portfolio manager. It's up to you which one you want to ask, or if you want to ask question at every single point there. Okay. So the next, when you okay, when you define that you're going to ask something to the events manager, there are two possible things that you can ask. One thing is to confirm, and you can see them here, to confirm an event or to set an event. Okay, what's the difference between confirm and set? Confirm is the following. Let's say that my situation here is telling me that I need to trigger on. To means that is even is trigger. Okay, so I'm getting a true here, a true value. If I have a confirm event pointing to the portfolio events manager, then every time I have a true here, I'm going to send a message to the portfolio manager, like saying, look, my trigger on event is true, confirm that I should trigger on. Or if I were here and take position, okay, well, in this case have a set, but essentially confirm that I should take position or not. Okay, that means that only when I have evaluated my situations to true, then I'm going to ask for a confirm event. So the portfolio manager, with all the knowledge that it has, that I already explained, will tell me yes or no. If it tells me no, then I'm not going to take position or do the trigger on logic. Okay? If it tells me true, then I will do it. But the question is asked only when my own conditions are telling me true. Okay? Difference. Uh, this is difference or opposite to the set event. Okay? Set event. What it means is if I have this here, then regardless of if this is true or not. Okay? Regardless if this is true or not, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to ask at every candle to portfolio manager to tell me, essentially in the case of event, true or false, if this event should be triggered or not. Okay, so this 100% overrides whatever you put here. Okay, because the the logic of the trading bot is going to take this, if it is defined in this way as a set event, is going to take this and ignore this part. So what you're saying is that you're delegating the responsibility to decide over this 100% to the portfolio manager, assuming that it has a better view and understanding of the overall portfolio situation or whatever risk management that bot is doing. Okay, so this applies to any of the events of a trading system. You have the possibility to connect them to the portfolio manager or not, and you have the possibility to ask portfolio manager to confirm the event or to set the event. Okay, that's how it works, and it works exactly in the same way at every single event of your trading system. Okay, then another interesting part here is the case of formulas. Okay, so what we have here with formulas is every single node that has a formula attached to it or as a child of it. Okay, you may ask the portfolio formula manager. Okay, You may add this node. Okay, it's the same criteria. It is not mandatory. You can put it at every formula. You can put it at none of the formula. You can put it in one of them. Is as you want. But when you put it, then you have two possible different questions to ask to the formula manager. Okay. The first question is to confirm the formula, and the other one is to set the formula. Okay. Um, the situation is similar to the other case. When confirm formula, you are sending, but there is some difference, because at the events, only when the event is true, you are asking for confirmation. When the event was evaluating to false the conditions on formula, then you are not even sending the message to the portfolio manager. In the case of formulas, it does is regardless the value of the formula you calculated. When you have a confirmed formula, then any value is sent to the portfolio manager, and the portfolio manager is going to return. Uh, it's not going to return true or false here. To be honest, it's going to return um, the same formula value. Um, it's going to send you a formula value, essentially. Well, here I'm not 100% clear because I don't actually remember the details, but what I'm going to say is what I guess from what I did several weeks ago. So um, essentially, the portfolio is going to give you back the information. I should look this into more detail, but overall, the idea is that the portfolio is going to decide whenever you put this here, and you ask for confirmation of to set the value. I guess that when you ask to set the value, you are expecting the portfolio to calculate the value directly for you. So you're not going to even uh, want to make your own calculation, because it's going to be 100% overwritten by what the portfolio bot is going to calculate for you. Okay. In the case of confirmation, asking for confirmation, you are supposed to make the calculation, and the bot is going to give you the value back, or it's like an acknowledgement that that calculation is okay, or probably it's going to correct it for you. Okay, so probably that's the way it works, or most likely. So uh, what it means is when you ask for confirmation, you have the possibility at the trading bot to include the value of the formula that the trading bot is calculating. Okay, to include it in some logic, whatever logic you want to do at the trading bot. Remember that the trading bot, you have a bird's eye view of everything that is going on, and then you can make a decision and return the same value if if you want to confirm that calculation, or you might overwrite it with some other value or adjust it a little bit. Okay, but the main difference is that you are receiving the formula value as an input, and that in that way you are somehow using the input from the trading bot to evaluate if that is correct or not. Okay, and that is up to you, because you are also going to be writing the formula that is going to answer this. But at the portfolio bot, that is the one who is seeing the actual balance at the exchanges and potentially more information than what is actually available for the trading bot. Okay, On the other hand, if you use the set value, then in that case, you might not even have a formula here. No, I think that you need to have the formula anyway. So don't delete the formula, otherwise it's not going to work. But the formula is going to be set, so the value of the formula is not really needed or ignored. And we expect that the whole calculation happens at the portfolio bot, and the result is going to be injected into the formula. And yes, you need the formula, so don't delete it. Okay. So the same explanation is true for any formula that you can make at any place of your trading system. Okay. So this is overall the how this works in all the detail that you need to know. Okay. So then we are going to check out this, the portfolio system. The portfolio system is like the counterparty of the trading system. Okay. In this case, you will see that you have these two guys, the event manager and the formula managers. That are the ones that are the employees of the portfolio manager, let's say. Okay. So these are the guys you're talking to when you are willing to ask questions or confirmation. Okay. So as you can see here, is organized in a very intuitive way. In the case of events, the event manager has confirm event rules, okay, for when trading bots wants confirmation, and you have set event rules, okay, for when the trading bot wants the event manager to set a rule to define if it is true or false. Okay, so here you will have a list of this node that is confirm event reference. Okay, confirm event reference. Okay, so the way we need a way to match the rules with the events at the trading system. Okay, so when this happen, or when this happen, take position event, and they say ask portfolio manager, event manager, to set this event. Okay, to set this event, then this is the definition of that there is a need for the portfolio manager to set this event, to say if it's going to be triggered or not, or in this case to take a position or not. So the way that you're going to do to solve this is here at seed events. You need to create one node here. You create it as always. You create one node, and with this node you're going to establish a reference, okay, to the event. So let's move this node to make it 100% clear. You say that this rule applies to this event. Okay, so when this event send the message, okay, I am ready to take a position, tell me if I should do it or not. Okay, at the portfolio bot, okay, this rule is going to be applied because it's referencing this event. Okay, and these rules has a series of situations and conditions that you already know how this works. Okay, so you may have as many situations as you want with as many conditions as you want with JavaScript code that is going to have available all the information that the portfolio engine has. That means all the balances of all assets at all exchanges, all market of all exchanges, and also is going to have the information of the trading engine of each of the bots. Okay, let me briefly diverge into that uh, Let's explore this a little bit more so as to make it clear what is the scope of the information you have. Okay, the portfolio has a portfolio episode with many things that you already know. Okay, probably not of all of them are working in version 1, but they will eventually. Okay, so it has the same concept. It has the exchange manage asset that come from the list that I already explained, that is going to have, or it already have implemented the fetching of balances from exchanges. Okay, so this is information you can use. But it also have this branch that is manage trading bots. Okay, in this branch you have for every bot that you are being managed, okay, you will have the manage bot trading engine. Okay, that means that you will have all the exchange orders, all the information that is available at the trading engine of each of the bots, including all the episode information with all the statistics and whatever information is inside this. You will have information about the current strategy being run, about the current position that has been taken, okay, and about the different stages that the trading bot is executing. Okay, also information about the last things that it was doing, the last position strategy, and in a nutshell, all the information of a trading engine. Okay, and you have this information for every single trading bot that is you are operating. Okay, so in the current version of this portfolio engine, I have only added 2 nodes. In the future, I'm going to make it like more complete with probably 10 of these and 10 of this. But if you need more because you're going to be managing 100 bots, then you just add these branches. You clone them and you add it here, and you can have your own version of the portfolio engine with as many managed bot or managed assets that you need. Okay, because at runtime this information is going to be populated with the actual values of the trading engine of all these managed trading bot. That is exactly what you have access to when you define your conditions or formulas here. Okay, in this case, conditions. So that means that to make the decision if you're going to allow a certain bot to take position or not, you have all the information of all the managed bots available for you, um, at your conditions to consider, whatever. If it is, how is the performance of all the other bots, the performance of this bot, or whatever you can imagine, anything you want. Okay? So the mechanism is that once you are designing your implementation or your trading operation, you will be at the trading system of the trading bot, you're going to be defining that you need to ask the portfolio manager, and then for each place that you make that decision, you have to come to your portfolio manager and you have to add a rule here. So you will add a lot of rules, and for this each rule you have to write the conditions and formula in order to give an answer. Okay, because the trading bot itself is going to be interpreting this whatever you put here. If you put nothing, there is nothing to interpret. Okay, exactly the same thing or very similar thing happens here with the formulas manager. Okay, the formula manager has these 2 branches: set formula rules and confirm formula rules. Okay, so for all the possible requests to confirm a formula, you will need to set up a confirm formula reference. Okay, that is going to point to the node that is requesting the confirmation. Okay, to make it 100% clear, I'm going to move this here. Target rate, this is confirmation request. So you see target rate is this node, okay, that has a as portfolio manager confirm formula here, okay. So the target rate or this stuff, this rule is going to be pointing to the target rate node because by doing so, we are telling the portfolio manager that this rule belongs or is going to be executed when this question is asked, okay, to confirm this formula. Awesome. So then you will have your own formula here. And this formula is the one that is going to be using the portfolio engine to the portfolio bot to provide the answer, okay, to this request. In this case, we have, as you can see here, a special variable that is called current value. Okay, current value is the value of the formula that the trading bot calculated and is sent via the event system to the portfolio manager, and then the portfolio manager gets that uh, message, activates this rule because it's attached to this node, okay, and it provides the current value, I mean the value calculated here, to this formula in the form of a variable called current value. Okay, so this formula can use that um, in this case because it's a confirmed formula. Okay, so it can use that or it should use that because it's a type of confirmation. Okay, so it should use that, and it can probably return just the current value. So that would be, yes, use the same value. So if the target value is, I don't know, 1000, okay, then if you return just current value, you're returning 1000, and then that 1000 comes from here, it get injected into the formula, and the process goes on. Okay, if you do current value divided by 2, then 500 is going to return, and the actual value that is going to be used is 500. Okay, and this formula is the most simple in the example provided, but you can make it as complex as you like, okay, using all the information of the portfolio bot trading engine. Okay, so this is an example of how this works. Then you have the other case that is the set formula. Okay, the set formula, it has a very similar mechanic. This go into this branch, and then you need to have this guy referencing the node that is requesting a set formula. Okay, and you also have a formula here, but in this case you're not going to be using the current value because the set formula is not to confirm the value of a formula calculated by the trading bot, but is to arbitrarily set a value for that formula with the information that is living in the context of the portfolio bot. Okay, so in this case you just send a value back. In this case it's 500, but could be whatever you want based on all the information you have available to you. Okay, and just like that you are able to set both the the requests at the portfolio at the trading bots and the way you're going to process. It's all about events manager and formulas manager and rules, and each rule is pointing to some node at a certain trading system. So you might be using many trading systems different from each other for different trading bots. That is exactly um, that is possible, and is the trading bot doesn't care if you have 1 or 100 trading system. This node need to be pointing to the node in whatever trading system they are, to the node that is going to be asking the question, because when at runtime it receives one of these requests, It's going to look for the, depending on the type of request, we're going to go into these branches, and it's going to look for the node that is pointing to the guy that is sending the request. Okay, so that's how it works. It's kind of simple to understand, and this is pretty much everything you need to know to set up your trading operation that includes trading bots and a portfolio manager bot that is going to be managing them. Okay. Okay, so let's run this to see how things work. Um, I The way you run this is actually very simple. Once you install the market and all the stuff are connected, you're going to be coming here to the portfolio manager bot because the other are managed tasks. Okay, so here we are going to do the same back test of one day on September 1st of 2020. Okay, so I'm going to, but in order to see how these two bots are working together, I'm going to bring this task a little bit closer so that we can see them both together. I'm going to put this here. Okay. So here we go. Okay, all these Bitcoin icons are just placeholders because these icons are still under construction. Okay. So I'm going to run this. First, I'm going to look for, okay, this. So let's run this. You will see that both tasks start running. Okay. There's a little bit of delay, but both tasks are running and they are both waiting for their sessions to be started. Okay. You will see your console more or less like this. You have portfolio and the trading bot both waiting. Okay. So then I'm going to run the session of the portfolio bot that is also going to run the session of the trading bots that are being managed. Okay, so let's run it. And we should see how this position itself and start processing the candles. You should also see how these are 100% synchronized. Okay, when one stop, the other stop. There is some calculations more heavy at different candles, but they are fully synchronized and working together. So all the time at each candle, the trading bot is asking for confirmations at the places we already defined, and the formulas at the trade portfolio bot are providing the answers and allowing the bot to do or not do whatever it's doing based on the conditions and formulas at the portfolio bot. Okay, this back test run only at the trading bot alone would run like much faster because there is no need to synchronize itself with another process running another piece of software. Okay, so the synchronization is the one that is slowing things down. So backtests are going to be slower than when you run the bots alone. So probably a good workflow for you would be to test your bots, trading bots individually as much as you can, and then you backtest them together with the portfolio manager if you want. Okay, so there it finished this guy and it finished the other guy. They are now waiting again to be run again. In live trading, the consequence of running this is going to be negligible because you are running only one candle per minute. So it's like both are going to wake up, and when they are both wake up, then They're going to process one candle, exchange some messages for confirmations of formulas and conditions, and then go to sleep. So uh, here we have seen 1440, that is all the candles of one single day, run in relatively less than a minute, so very quickly. So if it is only one candle, it's going to be just a few seconds, and the overhead of having this synchronized is not a big deal in that situation. Okay. Live trading with this has not been tested, so there is a lot of things to test for if you're planning to test this. Um, Close to the date of the production of this video, then you're going to be pioneering the test of this, for instance, in live trading mode. Um, but pretty much this is it. So we're going to stop this. This is the result of the execution. You will see essentially this. Both processes finished their execution, no problem. And pretty much this is it. I'm going to to be uploading my workspace exactly how I have it here, so that you can try this out and put it to work. There's no need to use your user profile in this case, like in trading signals. You can just run this stuff and it should work. Okay. Okay, so to recap, we have finished version number 1 of Portfolio Engine. It's usable, though untested yet, so you can go and try it out, or you can start thinking how you're going to deploy multiple trading bots managed by a single portfolio manager bot at your own premises without limits. Okay. Um, the video has all the information you need. Uh, you might go and see it a few times in order to clear all your doubts. And anything else, you can find me on Telegram and ask me at the developers group any question you might have regarding this. Okay. So thank you for watching and see you next time. With this, the version number 1 of Portfolio Bot is ready. The only thing that I might add to version number 1 is to have not only the portfolio, the trading engines, but also the bot session parameters. Okay. That is an idea that I have like recently and haven't implemented. Okay. So that's all. Thank you for watching and see you next time.